CBA Sports presents Singular at the Half, sponsored by Singular, the wireless company that believes in the value of self-expression.
Welcome back to our New York studios and to Singular at the Half. Our score in Dayton, Kansas by 5 over Syracuse. Greg Gumbel along with Clark Kellogg, and you look at the numbers at the end of the first half and you see Kansas has out-rebounded Syracuse 30-9, and you say, well, what is Syracuse doing within 5? There are reasons, oh wise one.
There are certainly reasons. A couple. One, they've made one more three-point field goal than Kansas, but the turnovers. Kansas has 11. Syracuse only has 6. Those points have led to Syracuse being able to hang around. But let's look at Kansas' dominance in this first half, especially as they attack the zone. We circled Drew Gooden with the ball at the top, but look at the spacing of the Kansas players in white. And now look at the ball movement from side to side, activity, everybody moving. And once the ball gets back to the top, Kirk Heinrich.
And the winner of this Syracuse-Kansas game gets the winner of Illinois and Charlotte a bit later. Coming up next, 4 games tip-off starting at 2:15 Eastern Time with Indiana State and Gonzaga. Butler battles number 2 Arizona, Temple takes on number 3 Florida, and Charlotte will challenge number 1 Illinois. Illini senior forward Sergio McClain has shaken off a bruised right shin. He will start. Updating 2 injuries for Indiana State. Junior guard Keelan Block lost 3 teeth and had to have 3 root canals, but he is not in pain and he will play. Similarly, junior center Jabril Kante will play despite sustaining an ankle injury in the Sycamores' overtime upset of Oklahoma. Now, the final 3 second-round games get underway in Memphis at about 4:40 Eastern. Most of you will see Fresno State under the tutelage of Jerry Tarkanian taking on number 1 Michigan State. Tom Izzo's defending national champion Spartans come into this year's March Madness not only as marksmen, but as marked men.
I think that in December when we played them, I felt like this year's team had the chance to be better than last year's team because of their athletic ability, because of their talent, because of their depth.
You know, I don't even disagree with that statement. I'm not sure I totally agree with it yet either, because I don't know until we accomplish some of the things we did last year in the Big Ten tournament and the NCAA tournament, I'll hold judgment.
This year's Spartans again captured the Big Ten regular season title, but had to share it with Illinois. Like the Illini, the Spartans made an early exit from the conference tournament.
I'm going to have to.
Michigan State is against Fresno State.
They certainly are. Fresno State has a potent offensive team. Michigan State, as you look at their team, it's different than last year, not the same leadership or maturity and experience, but sometimes you can gain that on the stage of the tournament, and that's what Tom Izzo is hoping for his young players to get a hold of, that sense of urgency and that tenacity and fire that you need to be a championship team.
Okay, Clark, we thank you for watching Singular at the Half. Coming up, the second half action between the Orange Men and the Jayhawks right after this.
Singular at the Half has been sponsored by Singular, the wireless company that believes in the value of self-expression.
You look at our tournament summary, amazing to think that some of the powerhouses advanced through round number 2 as they restored decorum. Yesterday's heroes, Rick, I point to Jason Williams and Tayshaun Prince. Those are easy ones. You figure that they're going to play well, but how about Marvin O'Connor, his 37, keeping Phil Martelli's team in it against Stanford last night.
Phil Martelli has a habit of coming up with great backcourt players. Marvin O'Connor is just another one to add to the collection.
You see that foul difficulty that has Jim Boeheim so perplexed. Seelig and McNeil with 4, Brown and Griffin now each with 3. And Boshi has his howitzer loaded. 52-40, Jayhawks by a dozen.
The interesting thing to watch is whether Syracuse will come out of their zone.
They didn't in the first half, and when Williams got hot, they clawed their way back in. Shumpert, well, he is almost a contortionist in terms of taking it to the rack and then initiating the contact.
He threads the needle. He really does. There's not an opening there. He slices on through.
Heinrich picked up the foul, his second.
Like to see Syracuse come with some full court pressure here.
Tonight on 60 Minutes, how does a Florida bean picker get to live like a king? Well, by going to law school and becoming one of America's richest lawyers. Tonight on 60 Minutes. Speaking of Florida, that's where Preston's from, the Fort Walton Beach area. The peninsula there between Gulf Shores, Alabama, and Perdido Key. 52-42, they do back off.
He knows his zone. He has confidence in it. There's plenty of time left. You have 15 minutes. The game is close.
When you think about it, Rick, most coaches would tell you they go to zone to protect their players from foul trouble. It's just the opposite here. Chenoweth gets loose underneath, and the lead back to 12.
Well, if you're going to trap the baseline, you have to stop it from turning the corner. You have to put your foot almost out of bounds and not let him slice to the bucket.
Brown.
He hit the rim. The defensive player grabbed the rim. Should be 2 points.
Seelick with a remarkable save out to Deshaun Williams. And another opportunity for the Orangemen. These possessions becoming even more important now. That shot a tough one and challenged by Bochy. And a pick by Shumpert. And now a three off the front iron.
And the pick again.
Oh, how about that? Just quicker to the ball in that sequence than Nick Collison.
Shumpert was willing to shoot another three.
Well, they've been struggling on the board. Why not get a few of them off the floor?
Chenoweth is grabbing the pick, trying to prevent him from setting the screen.
First foul against Eric Chenoweth.
His first, team's second.
Raises the ire of his coach, Roy Williams.
For Syracuse, number 13, Queth Duaney enters.
Queth Duaney has now come into the game. So he joins up with Griffin, Seelick, Shumpert, and Deshaun Williams on the floor for the Orangemen. Damone Brown takes the seat. That first round shooting versus today. The vice grows tighter. The rim gets more difficult. On the wing, not there for Seelick. Out of bounds, last touched by KU. Well, we've been down here almost a fortnight.
Well, they're trying to run baseline screens for Shumpert, coming off either a single screen or what we call a staggered screen. He'll take this three.
Up top, Shumpert not there. Finally, Collison rips one down and holds on to it. Shumpert's now 2 of 9 from downtown. Heinrich.
That's an offensive foul.
Out of bounds. It'll be controlled to Kansas. There was a no call in that sequence, but yeah, he definitely pressed it, didn't he?
That was not the breeze that knocked him down. Heinrich just put his head down, trying to draw the foul. Certainly was an offensive foul. Can't be a no call.
Bochy, too strong. Shumpert the rebound.
Syracuse needs a bucket here. Comes off the pick and roll. They'll try to get in the lane and get fouled.
Chenoweth coming over again. Picks up the foul. 2 quick ones against Eric Chenoweth.
The pick and roll in transition is a great play to run. The hedge is not in position to come out on the man. That's the best way to get penetration.
Shumpert and Williams have now 32 of Syracuse's 42 points.
Sean Williams is cold. He's hot. Now he's cold again.
Pretty much embodies it in today's game his entire season. Very streaky shooter, Deshaun Williams.
High to low.
Chenoweth unstoppable up there. 10 in the game for Eric.
Good hands, good touch.
Most of his points have come at the line. He's only gotten 2 field goals to fall. 6 for 6 from the free throw line.
A double pick and roll.
Damone Brown challenging the bigger Jayhawks, and he gets to the free throw line.
Kenny Gregory reaching in.
Heinrich will get whistled for the foul. Both he and Gregory in position to pick it up. The lead catapults back to 14 for the Jayhawks. You look at our game summary, and Rick, going back to those keys of influence for both Syracuse and Kansas. So far, Syracuse has not been able to accomplish what they wanted in terms of closing off rebounding and negating that front court for KU.
Too many second shots, too much interior passing, too big, too strong in the front court.
Yeah, and obviously the balance. I mean, you think about what Bochy's able to do to go along with Kenny Gregory, as well as Kirk Heinrich. I mean, Bochy with 13, Gooden and Chenoweth both in double digits. Collison and Gregory. 4 guys in double figures as you get this slam from McNeil coming out of the timeout.
This is a very young Kansas basketball team gelling at the right time. If you're a college basketball coach looking for a game next year, do not call Kansas.
That's right. And a foul spotted. That one will go against well, I'm not sure. It might be against Boschee. It's Jeff Boschee. You see it right there in front of you as he threw Shumpert down to the hardwood. And that'll get Preston to the free throw line.
Well, you'll see a full court press now almost on every possession, every made basket. Probably a little zone trap out of the 2-3 zone.
Hasn't been mentioned much because he had been shooting so well, particularly in the first round win over Hawaii, but Shumpert had that corneal abrasion in the Big East semifinal. Very painful, wearing a non-prescription contact to protect it a bit, but not having the kind of day today that he had anticipated or needed. 2 for 10 from three-point range for Shumpert, so the Jayhawks' defense at the three-point line against him has been very good.
They're always looking opposite.
Loose ball, they tried to get it into Gooden's hands. 3-on-3, and here's Griffin over Chenoweth. Using the glass, 65-49. Ballard on the floor along with Boschee, Gooden, Chenoweth, and Gregory. And Shumpert reaches in and is tagged for the foul.
What I like about Kansas, even though they have a lead, they're not looking at the clock right now, wanting it to run out. What they're doing is attacking the basket against their full court press, attacking the zone. The mistake people make is they say, we got a 15, 16, 17-point lead, clock run out. You can't do that in the NCAA tournament. Allow the other team to come back into it.
Gooden going reversal. Well, one of the true anomalies of this game, statistically, at turnovers, Rick, 5 for Syracuse, 18 for Kansas, and yet we have an 18-point lead in the game for the Jayhawks. Rare that you see that kind of discrepancy in turnovers, and the team that's given up 13 more ahead by 18 points. Off of another turnover, Shumpert rejected by Gooden. Boy, can the big fella run the floor.
Great hustle coming back. Boschee steps in, delays it. They don't give in easy bucket. They're going to step in. They're going to run back, try to block the shot. Just a
67-49. The lead is 18. Just over 6 minutes left. Damone Brown not there. Gregory the rebound.
Watch not a half-court trap.
A little touch pass to Gooden. Collison.
This is a clinic. This is a basketball clinic. They throw bounce passes at the right time. They hit the baseline to the middle at the right time.
Collison's touch dish was Mom's Sunday best in this NCAA tournament. Williams off the front rim, control to Boschee.
Here they go. They have numbers down the court. Boschee will look up and find someone.
This is really turning into a very impressive performance by the 4th seed. Gregory, a high riser.
Now you have to come out of this zone and go man-to-man. They're picking it apart. The Syracuse players are getting dejected. Jim Boeheim will change and come out of the zone.
Timeout, and it's Rock Chalk Jayhawk in Dayton. By going to law school and becoming one of America's richest lawyers tonight on 60 Minutes. Followed by an all-new Touch by an Angel, then Academy Award winner Louis Gossett Jr. and Robert Urich, star in the CBS Sunday movie For Love of Olivia. It's all here. Don't miss it tonight on CBS.
Sometimes a lack of depth helps a team because they get so cohesive with 6 or 7 players. They all know what each other will do on the basketball court, and that's what's happened to Kansas this year.
McNeil knocked that one away. Out of bounds to Kansas. Well, the team that the Jayhawks could not solve in the Big 12, Iowa State, got an early exit, courtesy Hampton. KU lost twice to Larry Eustace's team, and there's Gooden taking it to the hole, and yet another foul spotted underneath.
You'll see the philosophy of attacking pressure. They'll go up the sideline, back to the middle, look opposite on the break. What does it remind you of? Their zone offense. They take their zone offense, and that's their full court press offense.
Drew Gooden at the line, shooting a 1-and-1 for Kansas.
Gooden at the line after Alan Griffin picked up his 4th. You think in some measure, too, the early foul trouble caused Syracuse to perhaps play a little soft underneath once Kansas got inside that zone?
No, I believe that Kansas is having a superior day.
Yeah.
They have superior talent, and today they're a better basketball team.
17 points, 13 boards on 6 of 9 shooting for Drew Gooden. You think Roy Williams is happy that wrist is healthy? He has been outstanding. Griffin won't go.
I'll go back to...
Seeds are holding form in Dayton even through the second round. Kansas up by 25. Coming up next, CBS Sports coverage of the road to the Final Four continues. The number of outstanding games. Indiana State against the Zags. Butler, Arizona. Temple, Florida. Talk about zones. Contrasting styles. All of that coming up. So stay tuned. And there's Gregory counted in the foul.
Again, they advance the ball up the floor to the wing. Wing passes it to the middle. Middle dumps it down. This is fundamental basketball at its best. Now he looks away, gets the finish. Syracuse is just a little slow reacting.
McNeil fouls out of the game. That's the first Orangeman to be removed from the game because of foul trouble. Fouled out of 9 games earlier this year. Seelig fouled out of 7. And Gregory, who has been outstanding in the last 5 minutes, 77-50. Seelig, pretty good look to Shumpert there as he cuts to the basket. 77-52. This will go down as one of the largest rebound margin differences in NCAA tournament history. Kansas knew that they would have an edge there, and so did Jim Boeheim, but not to the extent in which they had it.
Well, the zone defense leaves the offensive glass naked at times, and that's one of the weaknesses of playing zone. You don't get pure blockout position.
But you can really raise a point that it was Kansas's zone that was more effective. Now let's take a look at the CBS Sports Line stat of the game, and it's just that. Look at that, 51-20, that rebound differential. St. John's by 35 and 51, Notre Dame by 42 and 58, and you see Kansas by 31 in 2001, going back in history.
That's just pure talent.
Yep.
It's a big-time talent differential, but this front court is one of the best in college basketball. They pass, they handle, they face up well. The backcourt is steady. This is a basketball team right now that I would not want to play against in the NCAA tournament.
And for complete tournament coverage, go to cbs.sportsline.com. The lead is 25. And they empty the benches. James Theus has come onto the floor now for Syracuse, along with Duaney and Seelig. Kansas going to its bench as well, getting number 22, Jeff Carey, into the game. Junior from Camden, Missouri. Space the floor and run it out. And for KU, a great opportunity as a number 4 seed to emerge. This tournament has already seen 2 number 4 seeds knocked out.
Tim, this is one of the best coaching jobs by Jim Boeheim probably in the last 10 years. I am not being disparaging against his talent. The talent's good, it's young, but it's probably one of the weaker basketball teams he's coached at Syracuse.
For Kansas, number 3, Brett Ballard.
Let's take a look at our Chevrolet most valuable players of the game. Deshaun Williams, 20 points, 3 assists. Kept them in the game, particularly in the first half run. Drew Gooden, a double-double for him on 6 of 10 shooting.
And why is Kansas so good late? Number 0, Drew Gooden. Everything is going.
Jeff
Bochy, the clock winding down, the nylon song.
The little Backstreet Boy didn't even crack a smile.
Duaney. Well, Kansas's entire team was awakened at 5:40 in the morning with a fire alarm. Some guys were complaining, feeling cheated out of rest. Well, they played well under duress, without question. Gooden out of bounds, and the foul against Gregory. And we're going to go ahead and advance Kansas into the round of 16. They'll face the winner of the Fighting Illini and Charlotte 49ers game that will be coming up later here in Dayton, Ohio.
Now, the Illini will match up well with Kansas. Charlotte will not. But Illinois on the backboard, they'll more than hold their own against Kansas. That's an excellent matchup.
Even though Charlotte has some size, Rick, their size is more lean than that of Illinois, particularly the Illinois guards. They are very physical.
Charlotte is a three-point shooting team, one of the best three-point shooting teams in the country.
You didn't have a fire alarm in our hotel. Now, I slept through it. I don't know if you did or not.
No, Tim, basically, after 4 days of working with you, my ears have been killing me. And I just look in the mirror and I try to speak, see what it's like.
You see Kenny Gregory getting congratulated along with Collison. Well, you're used to that coaching huddle. You know, that's a dictatorship. This is a democracy here in television.
Not anymore. With today's modern athlete, those dictatorships are gone.
Carey dumping it down. Harrison. Lewis Harrison, a junior from Kansas City. Oh, what an impressive win this has got to be for Kansas going into the round of 16.
Well, they're playing great basketball. This is back-to-back games with perfect execution. Jim Boeheim's team just did not have the overall talent to stay with them.
Shumpert, at long last, a three. That's just his third of the day, and it's 85-58. Zerbe trying to recover that one, but out of bounds off of Theus of Syracuse. The Orangemen go deep into their bench.
We all know the tremendous loyalty of Jim Boeheim. 600 wins at one school. Roy Williams turning down his alma mater, North Carolina, to stay at Kansas and stay with his kids. He not only has an outstanding team this year, he comes back with a super team next year.
Rick, this will be Syracuse's worst defeat in tournament history by far. Their previous was in 1977 against Cedric Cornbread Maxwell and University of North Carolina, Charlotte at that time.
I remember it well, in Rupp Arena in Lexington, Kentucky.
It was Lee Rose's period, you might recall. Lee Rose got North Carolina, Charlotte, as well as Purdue to a Final Four. On Lester's team back in 1980. 87-58. McClanahan into the game along with Greg Davis for Syracuse.
I don't think I've seen better execution in back-to-back games from a team in a long time as Kansas just put forth in their last two efforts.
Well, they really did. And I know you were very impressed with Cal State Northridge. That demolition was something to cheer about if you're a KU fan, because you were very high on the Matadors.
Cal State Northridge can flat out play. They beat UCLA at UCLA, and Kansas came in and was never a contest.
Well, Bobby Braswell's name is going to surface along with many others. We've talked about some of the openings that are out there. Rumors abound in Tennessee that Jerry Green's job may be in jeopardy, and something may be done there by the middle of next week.
I cannot believe that. 4 straight NCAA appearances. Tennessee administration has way too much class for that.
Here's Burns, and that's it. It's all over. And the road to the Final Four will go from Dayton to San Antonio in the Midwest region for Roy Williams. 87-58 our final score for Rick Pitino and Spencer Tillman. Tim Brando saying so long from Dayton. Greg Gumbel will be back from New York when we come back in just a moment.
Greg Gumbel in New York. First game of the day is complete, and the Kansas Jayhawks most impressive with an 87-58 win over Syracuse. Here's what's coming up. Everybody ticketed for Memphis, Indiana State, and Gonzaga. We'll send you off to Memphis. Everybody else will head to Kansas City for Butler in Arizona. Those of you looking for Temple, Florida, and Charlotte, Illinois, we will get you to the tips of your game as they come around. That's happening next after this message and a word from your local station.
Dad lost his hair.
CBA.